woman should be who and what she wants. We support the multifaceted woman, the woman embracing many titles, undertaking different ventures, and building generational wealth. You are a Jackie of all trades, master of your empire. Enterprise Empress, you are an unstoppable force. With today's Jackie.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Today we have my business partner. Introduce yourself.
I'm Natalie Rowe.
I'm Sharon Coleman.
I'm Neidy Hornsby.
Okay, so we're going to first tell you a little bit about ourselves, our concept, and why we have our own show here on Miami Community News. So Neidy, who is actually our intellectual property attorney, has now become the strategist of our brand. So Neidy, tell us how this all got started from your view, because me and Natalie know what we thought, but let's see how Neidy just kind of tells her story.
So I think that the beauty of how we came to be was that we share a lot of the same values. I think that was the core of our connection, right? Yes. So as you mentioned, I am an IP attorney, but I focus specifically on working with brands that are powered by women, right? So on a daily basis, I am exposed to these women who are like moms and wives, but they're building brands, right? Some are building brands outright. Some are building brands as they work their corporate 9 to 5. And it's something so amazing about what women can do while in heels, right? So,
while in heels, yeah.
So I'm very privileged to work in that space and to help women guard their genius, right? To make sure that we are monetizing our ideas and that we're owning.
Wait, plug. You said guard your genius. You have a podcast, Guard Your Genius, where you help women businesses, right?
So on my IG page, at Guard Your Genius, my effort is to put forth information that women specifically can use to make sure that they were being intentional about protecting the brands that we are working on, right? So how we came together is because you guys were being very intentional about protecting your brand, right? And so we started off as an attorney-client relationship.
We wanted a trademark. We wanted a trademark
into this show, right? Where our goal is to tell the stories of the women that you don't hear about on the news every day, but that they're shaping the world.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yes. It's accurate, but I want to tell you, so we contracted Neidy to do our trademark.
Correct.
And so we told her we want to do motivational merch for women. And so Neidy's like, okay. And she wanted to hear more about the brand, which is Enterprise Empress. We'll be telling you more about it during this show. And so we hang up with her, and then she sends us the application for the trademark. And it says all these things other than motivational merch. And I'm like, Neidy, she's like, call me. So we call her, and she's like, this brand is so much bigger. She's like, we're going to do podcasts, or we're going to do conferences. And Natalie and I was like, well, we did have that on our wish list on our wall for years. Yes. We just didn't know we were going to start it with this brand.
Works, though, right?
Yes. And here we are.
Moving things in place for you.
Yes. Here we are, just a couple months later.
Right, just a couple of months later. We've been working on all these other brands, and then Neidy's like, no, this is the brand.
This is what we're doing.
This is it.
So tell us what Enterprise Empress is.
So Enterprise Empress, and Enterprise Empress is the multifaceted woman. Right. She's the woman who has many titles. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's an entrepreneur, she is a community leader, she's a friend, and she's doing it all, and she's doing it well. Like she has this crown with many jewels, and she's embracing all of those jewels that she has on her crown.
Exactly. Yes. So I feel like people always think when women do a lot of things, they're doing too much. So it's like, oh my God, you're doing too much. And it's like, too much for you just requires a little bit of effort. For us, like, don't put a box on my crown. Right. So that's what this platform is about. It's about the Jackies of this world. That's why we call this segment Today's Jackie. It's the Jackie of all trade, master of her empire. So today's Jackie, you get your host, Sharon. You get your co-host,
Natalie.
And you get your co-host,
Neidy.
And we have 3 other women on our team. These 3 other women are our executive producer, our social media producer, and our executive director. At any moment, we switch up our shoes, and you might see them co-hosting, or you might see me executive directing or producing, because we wear many titles and we embrace exactly what we're supporting. Women who do a lot, do it well, and they build generational wealth doing it. So welcome to our first show, ladies.
I'm so excited.
We got a show.
This is going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. So since it's Women's Month, right? I love how Neidy talked about supporting women year round. So we're going to focus on Women's Month, but this show is about having a platform for women every month, okay?
Yes.
Not just Women's Month, right? Yes. Supporting you every day. But I want to start off with, who's your Jackie that you love? Tell me a Jackie. You could do one from our community and one just from anywhere. Just point out a Jackie that you're just like, she is so awesome how she balances all of that.
Okay, let me think about it. Neidy, go ahead.
Neidy, your Jackie.
My immediate Jackie has to be my mom.
I love it.
She is not someone that you would know, right? She's not in the news. She's not, but she, by way of example, just by way of how she lived her life, juggled, raising daughters, being an immigrant, not knowing the language, and navigating the landscape of being a non-English speaker while raising 2 daughters. And she did it well, and she did it intentionally. And as a child, you don't appreciate that, but then you become a mom. Yes. And you're like, how exactly did she pull that off? Because, I have the language, I can navigate, perhaps with much more ease than she did. And she did it well, right? And she was always able to take care of the home while still being present, while still working like 3 jobs, while still cleaning houses. Right. So she's my Jackie, and she would probably never consider herself that, because success, when you are from another country and you come to America, success is, you go to college, you get a degree, you have a 9-to-5. So she doesn't fit that mold.
No,
so
success is learning how to balance it all. And that's what your mom did.
And survive in a way that you don't raise your children to be in survival mode. Right? So hands down, that's my Jackie.
Oh, I love your Jackie. Okay, so I can't pick my mom since you picked your mom, but Mom, you are my Jackie. But my Jackie, I'm going to pick a public figure. I love Tia and Tamara, the twins. They are just actresses. They are TV hosts. They're business owner. One has a winery. They have kids. They are always embracing on their social media their families. It's so important for me to see women like that, because when I was growing up, I would always hear like the person that was really good in their business didn't spend a lot of time with their kids. Or the person that was really involved in the community, their kids felt neglected. Or the woman who was a house mom couldn't really find time to do her own entrepreneur venture. So to have women that show I can be a wife, I can be a mom, I can be a sister, I can be a business owner, I can be a talk show host, I can be a public figure, I can do any darn thing God created me to do, and do it well, is like really amazing. So my Jackie is Tia and Tamara. You guys rock, and you are from our community.
Yeah. So I was thinking my mom, but I won't say my mom since Neidy did. But my other Jackie is my oldest sister, LaTanya. LaTanya, we grew up kind of similar to you. My parents were married until my dad passed away, but my parents weren't college educated, but they instilled in us that we would be, right? So my sister was the first to go to college. She was the first to get a graduate degree and to get her doctorate degree. She showed us the path on how to do it. And it's like whatever she set her mind to, and still today, if she sets her mind to it, somehow it's going to happen. Right. I call her the mighty midget because she's shorter than me. She's actually the only person.
Mighty midget.
Yeah, she's the only person in the family shorter than me. Everybody else, including our kids, are all bigger. So I call her the mighty midget. But she's mine because if she puts her mind to it, it's going to happen. Without a shadow of a doubt, somehow it's going to happen. And she does it with grace while taking care of her kids, and her husband. Her youngest, my nephew, is actually getting ready to graduate from LSU.
Yay.
So it's awesome to see all of the things that she's done, because she's kind of laid the foundation for the rest of us to follow.
That's awesome.
So we have to give a shout out to all of the first out there.
Yes.
It's
not
first
easy.
women, like Vice President Kamala Harris,
Yes.
who is my soror. We want to highlight all of the first. Yes. Like you said, your sister was the first, and she set that foundation for the rest of her sisters to also get an education. And so that's what it's about. It's doing what we do, but also paving a way so that someone else can do it. So that someone else can see themselves through us. We have this thing in Enterprise Empress called womanism, right? We talk about our womanism. Yes. And at the end of womanism, the ISM stands for I see me in you. Yes. And it's all about seeing yourself in other people so that you're loving on people the way you would love yourself. Yeah. And in order to do that means you have to put more emphasis on loving yourself so you have more love to give to other women. So we're all about womanism here. So we have to be very creative with the show. So we're excited because we came today to interview, and then we put it out there that we want our own show. And Miami Community News is all about the community. So they was like, you know what? Let's do it. So now we have our own show, and they're like, let's do it today, right now. We're going to be at Jackie today. So now that we're here, let's brainstorm with you ladies out there. Tell us, what kind of Jackies do you want to see on the show? So if there's anybody on Facebook Live with us, type in the kind of Jackies you want to see in the show. What Jackies should we bring on? And while they're typing, you ladies tell me some Jackies from our community that you would like to interview. Who would you want to interview? I think I know mine.
Who's yours?
I want to interview Congresswoman Frederica Wilson.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love her.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I love her, not just because she's my soror. She is a part of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I love all the ladies of Divine Nine. But I don't know. I just think she's so awesome because not only is she representing us in Congress, but she's also building this platform for young men to be mentored. How amazing is that? Like the woman is the face of helping nurture these young men. And she's building it with all of these men's support. You know, it's like they are not intimidated that she's utilizing her gifts to be able to build this platform. Like they support her. So I love that men support her and not and versus being intimidated by her. I think that is awesome. And then I also love that she, like us, you know, she has a family. So she's building this family, she's building her community, she's building this mentorship program, and then she's doing it her way with a cowboy hat. Matter of fact, Grant asked us who was our favorite cowboy. My favorite cowgirl is Frederica Wilson, Congresswoman, U.S. Congresswoman Frederica Wilson.
You know, I think that I can't beat that. I'm not sure where to go from there.
Awesome, right?
But I think that when we decided to have this show and go and like do it, I would love to talk to those women who just don't have that profile, right?
Yeah.
So I think about my clients, like you guys, right? Their stories aren't told on a public level because according to the way society works, they're just, you know, average women, and there's nothing average about the women that we know, right? So I would love to hear stories of, you know, the quote unquote everyday woman who is juggling virtual school in a pandemic.
Yes.
Can we just pause and acknowledge that story needs to be told?
Wait, Nady, I have one for you. We know someone, Deja Thompson. She is an executive at VA Hospital.
Of course she is.
She just had a baby and is breastfeeding while working virtually, and she's in school to be a realtor all at the same time.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, those are the stories that I really want us to use this platform to tell, right? Because again, is she going to be on the cover of like the Herald? Probably not, but her story is important, right? Because her story gives us, you know, the blueprint that you can do this, right? That we're not alone, right? And that
Right.
there are a lot of women who are, juggling all of these competing interests in their lives, but they're doing it successfully, right? It's not always pretty. I mean,
Right.
you know what I mean? I'm supposed to be homeschooling right now. Shout
Right.
out to my husband, right?
Right. Thank
It's
you,
not
Abby.
always pretty, but so let's talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I would love to use this platform to interview.
Yes.
Now we have our one of our producers in the room. So you guys, this is our first. So we want to show you what it's like to build and grow. So Chanel, what are we forgetting here? Who should we be highlighting? What should we be saying? Like, this is
No
why
pressure.
we want even the behind the scene women on our team. This is our Empress News
Yes, this is our
E2 team. They're going to help us highlight all kinds of women. What are we missing, Chanel? Think about it. And then I'm going to let Natalie pick her local, Jackie, and then you tell us what else we need to do to close out this show.
I want to interview Jolicia St. Louis is her name. Jolicia is an entrepreneur. She has 2 children, one of whom is special needs, and she has a full-time job. So I'm very interested in, like Neidy said, getting the story out there. There are women who are doing a lot of things that aren't necessarily easy to do one, but they're doing many things and doing it well.
Right.
I would love to highlight her and her company. Her candles are divine, by the way.
Now,
I'm
is
a
that
customer.
Jolie that works with Mommy Foundation, right?
She works with
I
Miami
know
Foundation.
what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes, I have
Yes.
one of her candles. They
Yes.
smell really good.
I found her candles online and they are awesome. They're all over my house now. So, yes.
So we want to highlight you ladies. Send us messages. So we're going to, as we said, we have to learn all of this. We're going to create our own Empress News email so that you can email us your thoughts, who you want us to interview as today's Jackie. In the meantime, send it to our company, info, that's INFO, at ask, ASK, co-stars, COLESTARS.org. You can also follow us on IG at Enterprise Empress or at Fit Enterprises, as well as on Facebook, Enterprise Empress and Fit Enterprise. Now we see our producer, she's like writing something, but I'm trying to tell her this is going to be an interactive show. Tell us how we should close this out, Chanel, because this show is all about teaching the other women how to have their own platform, how to do their podcast. Watch us take this journey with you. We just did it. Oh, I did what Chanel asked us to do without even thinking about it. That's what it means. So it's important for you to understand that it's 6 women on this team because we're fixing each other's crowns. And we've been given a platform to not only highlight the multifaceted women out there, but also to be a support to you to help you fix your crown, because we believe, lady, you are awesome. Not just doing Women's Month, but year round.
Every day.
So again, thank you for tuning in to Empress News, where today's Jackie is your new host, Sharon Coleman, your co-host,
Neidy Hornsby,
and your co-host,
Natalie Rowe.
We look forward to seeing you hopefully every month, maybe every other week, maybe every week. So go follow us on Facebook and IG so you'll know when we know, because you're following this journey. Bye. A woman should be who and what she wants. We support the multifaceted woman, the woman embracing many titles, undertaking different ventures, and building generational wealth. You are a Jackie of all trades, master of your empire. Enterprise Empress, you are an unstoppable force.